Time Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Coming up on the October 9th edition of Carolina Week, we'll take you on a campus tour that focuses on the past and the unsung founders of the university.
Can your singing and dancing skills help build a house? We'll take you to a concert where Carolina students do their thing for a good cause.
It was the Tar Heels versus the Terrapins in a top 3 tilt, and it went to overtime. We have all the football highlights in sports.
Weathercaster Laura Pagano is here with your Carolina Week 4-day forecast.
All that, and we'll take you on a trip to Festifall. Carolina Week starts right now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
Hello and welcome to the October 9th edition of Carolina Week. I'm Jessica Floyd.
And I'm Katie Klein. Race Relations Week is an attempt to show us all there's still work to do for different races and cultures to understand and appreciate one another.
UNC campus tours often include stops at campus landmarks such as the Old Well and the Pit. But one professor thinks those tours leave out an important part of campus history. Carolina Week's Justin Smith takes us on a different tour of Carolina.
Gather around, welcome. Did everybody get a brochure?
Professor Tim McMillan leads a campus tour that bypasses many of the landmarks.
People say, well, there's Dye Hall, the language lab, and that's the Davy Poplar, and Black history is usually not a part of it.
McMillan bases his tour on Black history.
These are people who were omitted, and they were omitted because they weren't seen as people. We know the university acquired slaves through wills.
McMillan leads a tour through time.
Some of the enslaved people here were known to be good hunting guides, and this was a hunting ground.
Black people were property first, and students not until years later.
This building over here, everybody knows, steel building. Look at the 3rd floor. Those are the windows that the first black students at UNC looked out.
The tour forces students to see UNC in a different way.
I'm realizing more and more how we aren't that far from segregation, we aren't that far from slavery.
You'll notice there is a wall that goes all the way around this graveyard, but there's only one wall that bisects the graveyard. From 1798 to 2006, there are no black people over there, and there are no white people over there.
McMillan says the cemetery's stone wall is the most important symbol of all. He says it shows people such as Barbara Holland Chapman that segregation still exists.
We are driving past this very important part of our history every single day.
But as people go by, McMillan hopes they'll remember the people before them who laid the paths and blazed the trails. In Chapel Hill, I'm Justin Smith, Carolina Week.
McMillan teaches in the Department of African and Afro-American Studies. He leads the Black and Blue Tour from time to time and led this tour as part of Race Relations Week. Visit our website at carolinaweek.org to find out more information about the next tour.
This Thursday, October 12th, is University Day, the 213th anniversary of the day on which the cornerstone of the university was laid. Classes will be canceled from 9:30 to 12:30 p.m. to allow students and faculty to participate in university activities. Erskine Bowles, president of the University of North Carolina System, will be the guest speaker, and Chancellor James Measer will unveil a virtual museum of the university history in Wilson Library at 2 p.m.
Some things show that divisions still exist. Others show that we can all come together, such as Expressions After Dark. It was standing room only at Chips and Erot performed. Chips, a mostly Caucasian group, performed improv comedy sketches, while Erot, a mainly African-American group, delivered socially conscious spoken word. The two groups enjoyed some crowd participation from a diverse audience, and in the spirit of Race Relations Week, displayed that laughter can always bring people together to have a good time. The final event of the week, a benefit for Habitat for Humanity, students flocked to Memorial Hall to see the lineup of popular UNC performance groups. Those acts included the Accordance, Harmonics, and the National Panhellenic Council Unity Step. The show not only highlighted the diversity and talents of students on campus, but also encouraged students to give back to the local community. Senior Class Vice President Eric Schmidt enjoyed being part of an event that brought many groups together.
For me, having our Habitat family here, having the people from Habitat, the people from SAR, the senior marshals, and just everyone else coming together, for me, I really enjoyed that.
The event raised more than $5,000. All proceeds will go toward building a house for a needy family in Orange County.
You might be at risk if you own a laptop computer from the Lenovo battery. If your laptop has been overheating, it could end up here in the ITS Computer Repair Center, where a technician might replace the Lenovo battery that's been recalled. In most cases, the effects of the battery are minor, but in extreme cases, such as these, a computer with a recalled battery could overheat and possibly explode. The Information Technology Director, Bruce Egan, explains what students should do if they find out their batteries are affected by the recall.
They should take it out. They should turn their laptop off, take the battery out, and then just use AC power until we're able to get them a replacement battery.
So far, more than 600 UNC students have been affected by the recall. ITS administrators urge students to check Lenovo.com for their computer serial number. If they have a bad battery, return them for a free replacement. The registration system for the spring is now up and running, but not everything is the same. Students are picking classes for next semester, but there's one big change. Students with the same class standing no longer register at the same time. Instead, each student is slotted into a particular registration time. Kristen Simmons is a sophomore who feels the system could benefit students.
I think that it's going to be a really promising system. I think that students will be able to register without having the congestion that's usually there. So you won't have to, continually reload to pick your classes.
Seniors registered Saturday, and underclassmen will register in the coming weeks.
A popular website among students might soon come under different management. A report released Friday said the online search engine Google might purchase YouTube.com for $1.6 billion. YouTube allows users to upload different videos from people around the world. Some critics believe YouTube might face a lawsuit in the coming years because it also includes videos of copyrighted material from TV shows and movies. Many students, like junior Shayna Gaddy, think the website is a fun way to procrastinate.
It seems like it always has anything that you would be looking for, and it always seems like pretty good quality. So.
Officials at neither YouTube nor Google will comment about the potential merger.
It's common on Saturday mornings to see yard sales packed with people looking for great deals. Joe George takes us to a different kind of tag sale where the merchandise is vintage and profits benefit a good cause.
Bargain hunters made their way to Eastgate Shopping Center on Saturday for the 5th annual Vintage Fair Tag Sale. This 2-day upmarket tag sale attracted shoppers young and old with a wide variety of fine antiques and furniture. The Mental Health Association in Orange County organized the tag sale and will use the money from the sales to fund programs for the mentally ill. Vintage Fair co-chairperson Rosemary Hutchinson came up with the idea of using a tag sale as the Mental Health Association's signature fundraising event.
We wanted an event that wasn't like any other event, so we're both myself and my co-chair are interested in antiques and collectibles, and we came up with this idea.
Additionally, all of the items for sale were donated to the Mental Health Association.
There are many unique items donated to this tag sale. You can find anything from a $2 toy car to this $3,000 sofa.
Shoppers are drawn to the Vintage Fair because of the high quality of the merchandise and the fact that the money they spend benefits the Mental Health Association.
Well, it's only once a year event, and I like the tag sale, and it's contributing to a great cause.
Vintage Fair has raised a lot of money in the past, and organizers hope this year's event will bring in at least $15,000. So, why does Hutchinson think the Vintage Fair is so successful?
Well, everybody loves a bargain, and we've become well known. Vintage Fair has become well known for having good things at fair prices.
That combination will always attract a crowd. In Chapel Hill, I'm Joe George, Carolina Week.
Shoppers took advantage of great deals. Almost all items were sold by Sunday. One local bar and restaurant is famous for brewing its own beer.
Now there's something new coming out of the brewery. And it's not a new brew named after another famous UNC professor. We'll tell you what it is coming up.
When I found out my jeans were made using child labor in sweatshops, I wrote a letter to the company saying, reconsider your labor practices. A few months later, I get a letter back saying, thanks for being a loyal customer, and they included a coupon for a 25% discount on their jeans. So I got smart, wrote letters every day to all the stores that carry the brand, asking them to stop supporting the companies who use child labor in sweatshops. And I just kept getting letters back, thanking me for my concerns, and more coupons for more discounts on more jeans. So I'm telling my friend about it, and she flips out, saying that between all the letters and coupons, some paper company cut down a small forest, driving off 2 indigenous tribes, hundreds of endangered animals, killing thousands of plant species, some of which may have contained vaccines for HIV, cancer, and syphilis. Meanwhile, the guys cutting down the trees are 13-year-old kids who will work night and day for months just to save up enough money to buy a pair of jeans made by child labor in sweatshops.
Top of the Hill is one of the most popular restaurants in Chapel Hill. Carolina Week reporter Susan Tart joins us live from the studio to tell us about this popular hangout. Susan, what's the new attraction at Top of the Hill?
Jess, beer brewed right there is a big attraction. And now your opportunity to take a little piece of Top of the Hill with you wherever you go is in a can.
John Withy is the head brewmaster at the bar many people call Topo. For the past year and a half, he's been canning beer, 1 can at a time. Come February, he'll be watching automated canning machines do the work.
I mean, what you need to understand is we can't keep up. We can't produce enough to satisfy all the demand we have for it. And that's why we're building a new brewery, putting a new big canning line in, so it won't be done by hand.
Scott Maitland, owner of Topo, is also glad to be canning beer, but says there are still a few misplaced notions about canned beer from the microbrew revolution.
The idea that for a beer to be quality, it has to be in a bottle. And I will tell you that those folks have got it wrong, that the revolution was not about the can, it was about the crap that was in the can. The can itself is actually a superior package.
Withy agrees the taste of beer in a can is superior.
Most people have stuck their beer into bottles because that's what they thought they had to do, that was the thing to do, and they've all done it. And so putting it into cans is something quite new.
But how is the can superior to the bottle?
Maitland says the can shields light and gives the beer a better taste. And because the can isn't glass, it can be taken places where the bottle's not allowed.
The idea is you can't get a microbrew on a golf course because they're all in bottles. And so we put one in a can, and we're hoping that that would be a good niche.
Some people have other reasons why they would grab a can instead of a bottle.
Besides that they chill faster in the refrigerator, they stack better in the refrigerator too. You know, if you knock a bottle over, you've knocked a bunch of bottles over. And cans nest nicely.
The can might do better in the fridge, but not everyone agrees the can gives the beer a better taste.
Normally I prefer bottled beer.
I find the can sometimes gives the beer a little metallic taste.
Because I think it tastes a bit more fresh.
I usually prefer bottles just because like the taste is fresher and crisper a little bit.
Tinny taste, like hard water kind of taste.
And I think sometimes when you buy a can of beer, people think you're like a cheapskate.
Whether people in Chapel Hill are cheapskates or not, Topo canned beer is selling well.
The whole business is very successful because it's in a college town. Presumably students drink a lot.
I guess marketing to students is just part of the business model. If beer isn't your thing, Topo hopes to be producing its own line of spirits soon, including vodka, gin, and rum.
Susan Tart reporting live in the newsroom. Thanks, Susan.
The Chapel Hill and Carrboro City schools will be a bit different next year. The school board will be adding an academy to each school in an effort to allow students to explore specialized topics in smaller learning communities. East Chapel Hill High School will have a social justice academy. Chapel Hill High will have a visual and performing arts academy. And Carrboro High School, which will open next year, will house an international studies academy. Organizers hope to have the academies ready for the start of the school year. Instead of partying on Thursday nights, some UNC students are giving back to the community. These students are making brownies and cookies for children at the Ronald McDonald House. The desserts will feed more than 40 people. Volunteers made brownies from scratch and even chose cookies with pumpkins on them for a seasonal touch. While waiting for the oven timer to hit 0, some volunteers reflected on their experiences with the Ronald McDonald House.
Last time we cooked brunch for them, it was really amazing because as we were cooking, the residents were coming in and thanking us for being there, and they were thanking us for giving our time, and they really know that UNC volunteers are a big presence there.
UNC students have been working with the Ronald McDonald House for 2 years.
Now, I bet those cookies really brought a smile to the faces of the children at the Ronald McDonald House. Laura Pagano is here to tell us about weather.
And we did have a pretty nasty weekend, so what's the week looking like?
I know, it was pretty gloomy. And after this weekend's drop in temperatures, the wind is blowing and there's a chill in the air. Well, students need to keep their sweaters out for the rest of the day. I'll let you know when we come back.
I'm celebrating 32 years of recovery.
I'm celebrating 9 years of recovery.
Estoy celebrando 22 años de recuperación.
I'm celebrating 5 years of recovery.
For more information about National Recovery Month, contact the Alcoholic Drug Council of North Carolina at 1-800-688-4232.
Once you see the world through math and science, you'll never see anything the same way again. Go to girlsgotech.org.
You'll see.
Hi, and welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm weather forecaster Laura Pagano. So the top headline is, sun has finally arrived. After a really gloomy weekend, we finally see the sun, and it is going to stay for the next few days. So is it summer or is it fall? Temperatures, well, it seems like it's kind of in the range of the fall, but in the next few days, we are going to really feel like it's summer. So I'll have the forecast coming up, and some late day storms are headed our way for Wednesday into Thursday. So taking a look at the U.S. satellite, we do see an abundant amount of clouds. This is associated with a low pressure system off towards the west. And here is that nor'easter that we kind of had this past weekend, and it did drift off towards the north and then came swooping back down toward the south, and it really stuck around and really made a soaker of a weekend. But taking a look at the southeast, we will see that we do have mainly clear conditions, just a few high clouds here and there, but it really is beautiful, and it's going to look that way for the next few days at least. So taking a look at the radar, we do see some precipitation, which was in our area this morning, and that just moved off towards the east, and nothing in the way of precipitation, at least for Tuesday and even into early Wednesday. So really predominant sunny skies here, really clear conditions. So if we look at the surface map, well, this is our cold front that we are going to be looking at in our forecast for Thursday. We're going to have some rainy conditions Wednesday into Thursday. And then looking off towards the west, it is really going to be pretty clear. We do have another low pressure system right here, and that will be sliding off towards the east like normal. But for the weekend, it's going to be absolutely beautiful. So if you're planning on having any outdoor activities this coming up weekend, it's going to look great. But as for Wednesday into Thursday, it's going to be precipitation, I'm sorry to say. How about average conditions for October? Well, we do see that our high temperature is supposed to be around 70 degrees, and our low temperature should be hovering around 49 degrees. Now, lately, we have not seen those temperatures at all. We've either been really hot or really cool. So whether we'll actually see these temperatures just hover around 70, Well, we'll have to take a look at the forecast to really look at that, and we see that 81, 82, and 80 is what the temperatures are going to be for the next 3 days. So those of you who have outdoor activities for Tuesday, you guys are going to be great at any outdoor activities, meaning intramural sports or maybe a picnic. It's going to be great for your Tuesday. But Wednesday into Thursday, we're looking at really cloudy conditions, a lot of scattered thunderstorms, so you might want to make sure you take an umbrella. And look at the temperatures on Friday. It is absolutely beautiful. With temperatures at 55 degrees, I would say that's about 25 degrees under the actual average. So it is going to be beautiful the majority of the week. And then if you're looking forward to fall-like temperatures, then you're going to get to see them Friday into your Saturday.
Looks good. Thanks, Laura.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Curry is here to tell us what's going on in sports. Brandon, disappointing loss this weekend.
Oh, it was a heartbreaker. Coming up in sports, we all know the score and we've all seen the awful highlights. We'll let you know what this loss to Miami means for John Bunting and the football team.
Come on, boy. Come on. What do you got there, Yogi? Huh? What have you found? What do you got, little fella? Drop it. Looks like someone's butt. Man, they probably lost it playing with their kids. Hey, leave it. Come on. Come on.
Hey, I'm a bartender, not a parent. Someone underage wants to drink? What do I care? I'm just trying to make the register ring, okay? If they're not drinking here, they're gonna go somewhere else. Who's it hurting anyhow? Can't they have some fun too?
Ignore underage drinking and you open up a way for them to drink. An average of 42 people under the age of 21 die every week in alcohol-related crashes. Say nothing, do nothing, stop nothing.
Welcome to Carolina Week Sports. I'm Brandon Curry. The men's and women's soccer teams are near the top of the national rankings. The football team isn't. In men's soccer, the number 2 Maryland Terrapins took on number 3 UNC in a tight game on the Heels' home turf Friday night. Tar Heel Ben Hunter snuck the ball past the Terrapins goalkeeper in the 7th minute of the first half. The Heels were playing for a large crowd of more than 3,500 fans. Unfortunately for the Heels, a large cheering section wasn't enough to pull them through to victory. Despite some spectacular saves by UNC goalkeeper Justin Hughes, the Terps scored. The game ended in a tie after double overtime, which was a disappointing outcome for Hughes.
At home, you want to make sure you put them away, and we'll take the tie, but we're looking to get a win out here, so it's a little bit disappointing in that regard.
The Heels will travel to Bowie's Creek to take on Campbell Tuesday at 7 p.m. While the men's soccer team was busy with Maryland, the women's team had a full weekend of its own. On Thursday, the second-ranked Heels topped the 16th-ranked Wahoos 2-0. Notching their first shutout in Charlottesville since 1999. After the win on Thursday, Carolina came home to welcome Duke on Sunday. To Fetzer we go. The Heels and the Devils getting physical in the first half. This would set up the Yael Averbuch goal attempt in the 38th minute. Watch her put it in ease. The Tar Heels take the 1-0 lead. In the second half, the Heels used their brain power to create yet another scoring opportunity. This Tobin Keith goal put the Heels on top for good at 3-0. Averbuch says the intensity displayed against Duke is the Carolina way.
The way our team likes to play in the style of Carolina soccer is always to attack at all costs, get lots of shots and scoring opportunities. So I think that was very important, just to keep that going and make a statement out there.
With the women's soccer victory, the Heels finally get on the board in the all-sport Carlisle Cup competition between the two schools. Carolina is now down 1.5-1. The two schools split the women's soccer point in last year's competition, which the Heels won 14-12. Before the football team could even worry about its matchup against Duke for the Carlisle Cup, the Heels had a tough matchup against Miami on Saturday. Sports reporter Brian Allen has the recap and an analysis of where the Heels are as a football program.
One of the interesting things about football is that an entire game can usually be summed up in one play. Some plays are major, like T.A. McClendon's fumble on the goal line 2 years ago. Others are small, like this Ronnie McGill run just inches beyond the first down line, which kept the game-winning drive alive against Duke last year. After Carolina cut Miami's lead to 10-7 midway through the second quarter of Saturday's game, a Hurricane 3-and-out gave the Heels the ball back with a chance to take the lead. But with less than a minute and a half left in the quarter, as the Heels were marching down the field, bringing to mind memories of 2004's upset win, Cam Sexton threw an interception.
He's out of the shotgun now at his own 48. Has lots of time. It's intercepted.
Football may be a game of inches, but Sexton's pass was off by a few feet. The defense, still gasping for air, let the Hurricanes storm down the field and score a touchdown in just over a minute. A potential 14-10 lead became a 17-7 deficit just like that. The bad news only gets worse for Carolina. Hakeem Nicks, one of the few bright spots during Saturday's game, went down with an ankle sprain in the second quarter and is not guaranteed to be back for next Saturday's game. After the 27-7 loss, the Heels are now 1-4, with their only win coming against a D1 AA team. All of a sudden, no remaining game appears easily winnable. Something needs to improve dramatically, or else postseason changes are inevitable. From Chapel Hill, I'm Brian Allen, Carolina Week Sports.
The Heels host the USF Bulls Saturday at noon. South Florida is 4-2 and beat UConn by 22 last week. After losing in overtime to arch rival Wake Forest, the field hockey team found itself with an 8-4 record, 0-3 in the ACC. Determined not to let their season slip away, the Heels have been on fire, upsetting number 4 ranked Boston College on Saturday 4-0 and thumping Yale 6-0 on Sunday. Since the loss to Wake, the Heels have outscored their opponents 14-0 in 3 games. I'm a huge field hockey fan. Not a lot of people know it, but they are fun. They are great to watch.
Yeah, hopefully I'll get a chance to come out to some of those games.
Hopefully I see you there.
Thanks, Brandon. Franklin Street was shut down Sunday afternoon.
When we come back, we'll show you the reason why and what these 2 little girls have to do with it.
Can I take your order, please?
Yeah. Hi, could I get a number 2 with a lemonade, please? Could you make that a number 5 and make it a chocolate shake?
Number 5 with a chocolate shake.
What are you doing? I'm ordering for you. No, actually, I'd like a number 5 with a chocolate shake. With a lemonade, actually. Sir, could you please stop that? I just wanted to order a number 5 with a chocolate shake. I'd really like you to stop that. All right, lady. I'd like you to stop it. No.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
Well, the rain didn't stop people from enjoying Festifall, the 34th annual Arts and Crafts Fair held on Franklin Street.
And Carolina Week's Jaime Zea reports about the fun to be had at Festifall.
Despite the chilly weather, the festival attracted about 2,500 people who came to take part in what promised to be an enjoyable afternoon.
So we had 4 stages providing a variety of activities for everyone to come to and participate in.
Festival also attracted many vendors and non-profit organizations that were able to reach out to people during the event. This festival proved to be a family-oriented event as a kids' zone was set up to keep the little ones entertained. On the other hand, for Chapel Hill students, Festival is a great connection between the university and the outside world.
Kind of takes you out of the university bubble and makes UNC, like Chapel Hill, seem more a part of a town than just like a university.
Despite high security measures, Festival went on peacefully, and the town of Chapel Hill is very likely to put on this event again next year. In Chapel Hill, I'm Jaime Zea, Carolina Week.
Well, it's a good thing people didn't let the rain keep them away.
Yeah, it looks like they did have a lot of fun out there at Festifall. Well, that does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks for watching. Good night.